hello, 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 welcome, 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 and hello. I'm Dan, your friendly fishmonger at dansfish.com. Welcome to the live stream. We do this stream every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, we're going to do our shipping report. We're going to do a giveaway, get that rolling, and tell you about some amazing new fish that we have here at Dance Fish. Some stuff that I've been waiting several months to get back in. So some exciting fish to show you. Before that, though, I want to tell you where we're at in the stream. So for those that don't know, about 5 weeks ago or so, the computer I normally stream on broke down, and we've been kind of hobbling through ever since. I'm happy to report that that computer is now fixed. It's got a new motherboard, new RAM, a new CPU, a new cooling system. Basically, the only thing left in it is the hard drive and the video card. Everything else has kind of been replaced. And the case. So it looks the same, but its guts are completely different. The issue is that I have not had a ton of time to dial things in. We spent time earlier today. We did a dummy stream, a test stream to get things figured out. And we have figured out how to stream fairly smoothly at a low quality. So you might notice that the stream looks lower quality today than it did in the past. And that's just because when we streamed at a higher bit rate, it would start buffering and things. So we are still playing with the basically new computer, trying to get all the settings optimized. But this is the setting we can do at and be confident that the stream will go through, that we won't have, crashing or buffering or, all kinds of problems. So it's not going to look as good tonight as it has in the past, but we need some time to dig into the settings and do some tests and figure that out. So we're just going to go with it. So if it looks low quality on your end, it probably is. If you're watching on a big screen, it probably looks horrible. This might be a good day to shrink the window you're seeing it in, to look at it on a cell phone, or if you're on the computer, instead of having it full screen, shrink it down to one of the smaller options. Because when I try to stream, we used to stream at 10,000 kilobytes per second. Right now, if I go much above 5, we start buffering. So we're streaming at 5 kilobytes per second now, which isn't the highest quality. Anyway, people say it looks good on the laptop. Oh wow, it's looks perfect on a 50-inch. That's so weird. I'm glad to hear it. So I'm looking at a screen here that is what they tell me is what it's going to look like for the people watching it. And when I bring it to full size on my monitor, it looks grainy and bad. But hey, maybe we'll just deal with it and go forward. All right, cool. Anyway, there's work I need to do now that I have a computer that works. It's supposedly a much better computer. It's much faster, a lot of memory. The processor is pretty awesome on it. And so, it should go through. Someone's watching on a 65-inch TV and it looks absolutely great. Okay, well, let me rewind time and take back that entire disclaimer. Apparently it looks good for you guys. It looks horrible for me. So I just assumed. Okay, anyway, let's get into the meat and potatoes of it. I do have some plans, though. I want to make this, now I have a little more time to play with things and have a computer that is good. Then I want to play with the stream a little bit, but we'll get into that down the road. Okay, let's get to the giveaway. So for those that don't know, we have to do the shipping report still. I'm thrilled to announce we're at 99% shipping success rate, the last 12 months rolling. We did have a couple problems this week. They were mostly local problems. People that are in Wyoming that ordered from us. Most of the time when you order fish from us, they go on an airplane, next day air, and they go to Louisville, and then from there they're distributed out across the United States. If you're in Wyoming, then even though it's a next day air label, they don't go on an airplane, they go on a truck, because they can get to you by the next morning via truck. So that's how UPS delivers next day air service in the state of Wyoming. The problem is that truck had some issues, and so the packages on that truck were delayed a day. It was 15 degrees this morning when I woke up, so it's been cold this week, and so because of that delay, out on a trailer on a truck for an extra day out in the cold, we had some losses locally. The other shipments, very few issues. The shipments that went out across the United States as per normal, very few issues. One here or there, but in general, did pretty good. But we did have some problems locally. However, we're still at 99%, so I'm happy to report that. Hey, this person says any fish will do, says it looks good on a 156-inch. Wow. Okay, good. All right, I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled that it's looking good for you guys. It looks like dirt here. Man, we spent, oh geez, a couple man hours trying to figure this out today because we're like, it looks horrible, and we're trying to figure it out and figure out how to make it look good without too much of a bit rate that we would drop frames and all that. And who knew? Who knew it was looking good the whole time? Anyway, that's the shipping report, 99%. Don't want to get any lower than that. We want to go above that, but that's the goal here at Dan's Fish. We want to have 99% or better success rate. So we're right on the edge there. Okay, let's get to the giveaway. So this is for a fish which is, I think, really cool, not commonly available. You don't see it very often. It's super hardy, it's easy to breed and raise, and it's beautiful, but for some reason, it is hard to find, which is strange. It is Poecilia salvatoris, the Liberty Molly. These things are awesome. So here's a picture I took of one of ours. This is a nice shot, nice red one. They get this nice red on the tail and the dorsal, the nice blue sheen, and these rows of orange or red down the sides. Really nice wild type molly. Like, look at this. That's a pretty fish. Look at all those reds and stuff. They also get some black contrast. Let me see if I can find one that has some black contrast. There you go. So see kind of that black contrast in the dorsal fin with these white iridescent spots. All in all together, this is a nice fish. And they're active, they're energetic, they display a lot. Here's one in display with the erect dorsal fin and fully spread tail, although the shot's not quite in focus, so you don't get the full effect, but it gives you an idea. Very similar to Poecilia gillii, which is, this is a Liberty Molly. What's that one? I forget the name of it, the common name. Looks very similar. Like, check this out. Isn't that gorgeous? Black on red with white iridescence. I just think they're an awesome fish. In our experience, another one I tried to take, I'm so bad, but you can see the rows of kind of orange yellow spots on this one pretty good. And that's a good shot. A little dark, but it gives you an idea, the black and red. In my experience, these are super hardy, very prolific, like as easy to keep as any other live bearer. So we had a colony here going for quite a while. And so I don't know why they're not as popular. It's like the aquarium fish industry doesn't always recognize subtle beauty. So if this was like a solid red molly or something, right? Then the industry would be like, yeah, and they'd produce it. Or if it was a bright golden color or something like that. That's what the industry likes to produce. But these other fish that I think are even more interesting to look at because they have more going on, they aren't just one thing, aren't always produced. And I don't quite understand why. I think this is a neat fish and the behavior is awesome. And you know, the pictures don't always show them in their best light, but I've seen them fully colored up displaying. And once they mature, by the way, they do that all the time, and they're really stunning. So these, the limias, some of the wild type swordtails, I think there's a market. I think that as people get to know these fish and get exposed to them, they're gonna want them. And I think there's these little niches in the industry that just haven't been penetrated, and there's opportunities for breeding projects there for someone that wants to breed. This is a fish that we would love to buy from a hobbyist. So if you bought them and produced them and could sell me a couple hundred at a time, I would love to buy them. So I think there's opportunity there in a lot of the wild type live bearers. The issue is they aren't produced en masse by the industry, and because of that, most people are not exposed to them. Now, there are some other issues. There are some wild type mollies that are actually kind of difficult to breed and raise, like the giant sailfin mollies at Select Aquatics, for example. Awesome, beautiful fish. Take forever to grow. Need to be in large tanks with really clean water. Aren't maybe as prolific as some others. Some of the wild type swordtails, some of the good daids. So there are some limitations on some species. This is not one of those species. This is hardy, prolific, easy, along with every limia, every live bear of the genus Limia I've ever kept. Hardy, prolific, and easy. So I think it's a cool thing. So because of that, I'm gonna give them away tonight. You'll get a pair of these. Now, Nightbot changed how it looks. Because I now have basically a new computer, I had to, when I pulled Nightbot up again, it talked differently to my computer. I had to re-log in, and I guess it updated me. And this is what it looks like. But if you would like to enter to win some of these, up here it tells you how. Send a message containing hashtag WildMolly in chat to enter the giveaway. So hashtag WILDMOLLY, no spaces, caps don't matter. Hashtag Wild Molly is how you enter the giveaway. And I'm not sure what it's going to look like later when we do the drawing, because the screen looks pretty different. Boots and Cats is the #1 intrigue. All right, they're coming in now. But we'll draw a winner later for some really cool fish. Now, speaking of really cool fish, did you hear that? I got so excited my feet tapped on the ground. Speaking of really cool fish, let me show you some new stuff that we have in. Starting with this. This is a species of Otocinclus that is new to me. Otothyropsis pyrobibi. They come from the Rio Pyrobibi in Paraguay. So not a country we can usually get fish from, but there's a gentleman that goes around the world and collects all kinds of fish named Hans Georg Evers. And Hans can then bring those back to Germany where they can get bred and distributed. And he's not the only one, but I happen to know someone who's good friends with Hans Georg Evers and gets a lot of the fish that Hans collects. And then I can buy the offspring from them. So it's a pretty cool hookup. And by the way, I haven't confirmed that these are ones Hans collected himself, but they originated in Germany. That's where they were first bred and then distributed and stuff. So I'm pretty sure he did. Could have been someone else though. Don't want to give false credit. But anyway, this is what we're calling the black Otocinclus. Really neat fish. Tops out at about an inch. So it's a nano Otocinclus. And what I like about these is these are the first confirmed aquarium bred and raised Otocinclus I've been able to offer for sale. And I really like being able to offer them for sale because anyone that's in this industry, you know what the wild collected Otocinclus go through. You know how difficult it is to find ones that have been treated right and all that stuff. Thankfully we have a place that we can buy them from that collects them in the wild and does a very good job. But this is better. These have not gone through this process. This is a new nano species, and it's been obtained in the most humane way possible by someone who bred them in aquariums. So really proud to be able to offer these black Otocinclus. And then there's a species of goby. This is a Stiphodon. No Stiphodon gobies are produced in aquariums because of their complicated reproductive cycle. Kind of like salmon, where they spawn in freshwater, then the little larva are washed out to the ocean. They develop in the plankton cloud there and then come up into the freshwater later. Unlike salmon, they don't just enter freshwater to swim. They live their late juvenile and they're late juveniles, I would say, when they swim back up. Not just juveniles, they're like small still. But anyway, they're little when they swim back up into fresh water, and they spend their whole adult lives there. But because of that kind of complex reproductive cycle, freshwater to saltwater, back to freshwater, and fish that go to the estuary, the salty brackish areas, in order to grow before they migrate back to freshwater, they're eating these kind of very specific planktons and things. And that's one reason saltwater fish can be very difficult to propagate. That's one reason it's taken a long time to crack the code on a lot of saltwater fish, although they're starting to. But anyway, because of that, no stiphodons that I'm aware of are being commercially produced or even bred and raised in aquariums. So these are collected fish. They're a beautiful little dwarf stiphodon. This is one that stays small as well. And they get these bright red orange on them. Like, look at that one. This one might have been saturated a little bit, but I have seen them fully colored up. And I would say this is accurate, but what I saw was a darker orange to red than that. It wasn't quite as bright orange. So I'm not accusing anyone. This might just be a snapshot that isn't oversaturated. But I don't want to, oversell them. Here you go. This is more similar to what I saw as far as the color, the kind of reddish orange color. Anyway, really neat little goby that you never ever see. So have some of those available. Some more fish. Liberty mollies, of course, we already talked about those. Some more copper sailfin mollies. We have a great supplier of these. They do a good job, and they're a really interesting looking molly. See that copper color on the females? Here you go. Here you can kind of see it. This metallic looks like a penny, right? The male has that too, but he's got a little brighter. He's an orangey coppery color, but he's definitely got copper on him. But those have been doing awesome for us. Probably the most popular angelfish we sell is the zebra lace angelfish. We have more of those in stock. And then let's get to the stuff we've been out of for a long time, like the chubby plecos. This is a picture of one of the breeders. It's older and it's turned this yellow color with some black markings on it. The picture isn't very good, but hopefully you can see that. This is not one I have. I had to ask the breeder to take this picture for me. So they got out their cell phone and took a quick picture. Not high quality or anything, but it's what I was able to get. And here's another of the brood stock. Is turned yellow. The babies I have look like this. They're currently brown. They're small. They're juveniles. As they grow, some of them are going to turn almost pure yellow. Some of them are going to turn yellow and black mottled. They change colors as they grow and mature. So right now when you order them, they're small like this, they're going to be mostly a brown fish, so don't be surprised. And then if you buy a group and have them grow out, you'll see all kinds of changes. It's very individual, very random, highly variable. But that's what's interesting about the L56 chubby pleco. Aptly named too, by the way. They're stocky little, chubby little suckers. Some more Melanotaenia Gary Langai. Have not had these in a long time. Really glad to get these back. To me, it reminds me of a sex lineata like Taboo Bill, lipstick, the pink lipstick rainbows, but with more orange on them. Adults of these are absolutely stunning. Every now and then you run into a fish that kind of blows your mind. This is one that blew my mind when I saw a colored up adult. Party animal rainbow fish, we're calling it that in honor of Bentley Pascoe. That's what he calls the Chilotharina blairi. And you can see why here. Look how pretty these are. Who's this? Dana H sent us a picture of theirs. Thank you, Dana. This is a female, and here's a male. See this bright yellow blaze, red tail. And I didn't capture the body color really good on that. I got it better here. Intense blues and reds. Really see these reds that edge the fins. Really nice rainbow fish, the Chilothrina blairi. Some more Bolivian orange lemon tetras. This is a lemon tetra with bright orange. And as they mature, the body gets a lot of orange in it as well. I can't remember if they renamed this. At first, they were calling it the Bolivian orange lemon tetra. And they thought it was maybe just a distinct population of the lemon tetra. Maybe it's the same species, different color form, basically. And I seem to remember some murmurings a little while ago that maybe it was now described as a different species, but I can't remember for sure. But anyway, it doesn't look the same as a lemon tetra. It's kind of the orange version of that. Some Kalitawa, the fish that I think is going to become the most popular rainbow fish in the hobby and in the industry, because it has all the benefits of a neon dwarf rainbow, Melanoptenia praecox. It stays small, even smaller than a praecox. So it's able to be kept by a lot of people, even if you don't have a large aquarium. But look at the color. Like, look how stunning these are. So all the benefits of a praecox and more color, hardy, easy to breed, all that. So I think these might surpass the praecox in popularity. Some Aves Creek Bosemani. Thanks, Ryan Remy, for your awesome pictures. As adults, these turn, I call them the Halloween rainbow because they turn black on the front and orange on the back. Look at these. Really, really nice form of the Bosemani. Finally got some of these. People have been waiting for, geez, nigh on a year now, I think, for more of these. These are the greenleaf algae eating shrimp. The best algae eater that we've found. We made a video, if you want to watch it, on the Dance Fish YouTube channel, where we took these, a mono shrimp and Florida flagfish, and we weighed out equal amounts of hair algae and put them in the tanks and saw who ate it the fastest. And these guys did. So really good algae eater. Something I like about them is they're kind of variable. This one has these copper colored, I don't know, what are they? Triangles, diamonds up the ridge of the back. This one doesn't. Sometimes they're greenish. This one's orangish. This one's greenish, although at that angle it's a little hard to see. So if you get a group of these, you're gonna get, I wouldn't say tons of color. I don't wanna falsely sell them, but you get a variety. Some more longfin white clouds. And let's see here. Yeah, I think those are the main highlights. We have some other things in quarantine that will be coming available soon, I hope, provided they get through their quarantine and all that. So keep an eye out for more stuff within the next week or so. But that's kind of the neat stuff that we have as of now. Okay, so hopefully that looks good with the new computer and you're able to see those pictures clearly. But the greenleaf eat non-hair algae also, says Mr. WW. Oh, that's good to know. I mean, I bet they'd be hell on blackbeard algae for sure. I could see them nomming down on that really hard. Yeah. So anyway, greenleaf algae eating shrimp, best algae eater we found among those three species, Amano's flagfish and greenleaf algae eating shrimp. By the way, we're not 100% sure, I don't think, what the species is on those still. But we do have reports that some of the people that bought them from us have successfully bred and raised them. So it does appear they can be bred and raised in aquariums. We didn't know if it would be like an Amano type situation where the Amano shrimp's difficult to breed in aquariums because of how they need salt water as little babies, or, you know, plankton at least. They're not like a cherry shrimp or a crystal red shrimp where the babies they have are little fully formed versions of the parents. And the Amano shrimp, the babies go through a larval stage and it's just more difficult to raise them. But it does appear that people are raising the greenleaf algae eating shrimp. I don't know if it needs a larval stage or not. I don't know if they're mass producing them or if they just got lucky, but at least a couple people have reported that they've raised some. So that's as much as I know about that so far. All right, we're going to scroll up here and let's see, your stream is still doing okay. All right, looks like we're still doing all right. Let me see what it looks like on my end. Yeah, it still looks horrible on my end. I'm glad it's clear for the people that, on your end, at least the people that are talking about it. All right, I want to get to your questions and comments. Before I do, I want to thank the moderators for being here and for moderating. I really appreciate you showing up and volunteering your time. Thank you. Thanks for making the chat flow smoothly. I do have an announcement. We won't be streaming next week. Next Wednesday is real close to Thanksgiving. I'm going to be visiting family, so I won't be around next Wednesday. I'll be doing Thanksgiving stuff with family next week. But we'll be back the week after that. Hopefully even better. Hopefully by then I'll have been able to adjust some settings and figure some things out and look even better. Anyway, nice shade of pink lipstick, Dan. Oh, Dragon Lair, if you only knew. I grew up on stage, my friend. I used to teach makeup design classes in the theater, so lipstick don't scare me. Okay, let's see here. Geek Boy, hey, thanks for sending Johnny to the Clash. Get to work on that Clash trip, Johnny, says Geek Boy with a super chat of 10 bucks. Appreciate that. Thanks so much. Johnny does deserve, I talked about this a little bit last night. I was on the Fish Fam stream, did a little giveaway there, which was amazing. If you guys missed it, you missed out. Like, that turned into a wild night. The sheer dollar amount that was given away that night was impressive. I forget the name of the person that won, but someone walked away with 500 bucks, which was amazing. It was a cool thing. But anyway, yeah, Johnny's been here, is it 4 years now? 3-4 years. And he's worked tirelessly for a large part of it, 7 days a week, all day, every day, you know, as we were just first starting this company and grasping our way through the startup stage. He's been through all that with us. And I don't think he's ever taken a real vacation. So I would be thrilled if Johnny went to the Clash. And it looks like it's going to happen. I'd have to calculate it, something like a couple $100 maybe now, super chats that have been given for that purpose. So, you know, we've got a year to get him there. It's probably going to cost, I don't know, I haven't done the math. My guess is $1,500 to $2,000, hotel, airfare, food for him to go. But we've got a year, so I think we'll get him there. I want to get him there. The guy deserves a break. Damian Hartz, thanks for joining the channel. Thank you so much for becoming a member of the Fishmonger crew. Any Fish Will Do has gifted a membership. Thank you, Any Fish Will Do. Stephen P. also sending Johnny wherever, preferably the Clash. Yeah, I think it's got to be the Clash. I mean, that's what everyone's... When the community speaks and then throws the money out, you kind of have to go with it. Like, you can't fight that tidal wave. Get rid of Johnny September. Yep. This is the real reason I want Johnny to go to the Clash. I want to not see him for a couple days. Kelly. Get rid of Johnny September 26th through 28th. Thank you. Thank you so much. Fish Fam Link, hooking up Johnny, send Johnny to the Clash. It's a hashtag now, huh? Hashtag send Johnny to the Clash. Thank you, Fish Fam Link. All right. Ooh, excuse me. Let's see. Someone here says, Autothyropsis, the black autosynclus, is an awesome fish, says Mikey M. Maybe it's Mickey. Oh, I used to know this. I can't remember. I bred them 2 years ago. Friendly like autos, but hardier, almost like a mini ancistrus or bristlenose. Oh, that's good to know. I'm getting low on autos, says Geek Boy. I should get more soon. They are pretty old at this point. Yeah, and your big old living room tank with all those plants, you need a crew of autos there for sure. Mama Duck How well do gobies do in fast water, such as creeks you see in the mountains in your area? Well, the mountains in my area would be too cold for them. Most of the gobies I keep are tropical, but the water flow they'd be fine with. So they come from very fast flowing water, like hill stream type environments. So they're going to do great. They can climb waterfalls, like water just beating down on them, and they just grasp and with their mouth and then their little pectoral or pelvic, not pectoral, pelvic suction cup fins, and they just kind of go up and inch their way up. So yeah, Stiphodons. Now, not all gobies. I'm talking about Stiphodons, Sicyopus, Sicyopterus, gobies like that really like high flow. Bumblebee gobies don't. Magillogobius ada, that's a lake fish, not a river or a stream fish. So just depends on where they come from. But the Stiphodons for sure would love high flow. Damp owlet. Is that like a damp baby owl? I guess it is. What size tank would you recommend for a chubby pleco? Let's see, your chubby pleco is going to top out at, I want to say 8 inches. Let me see if that's correct. 7 to 8 inches. And they're a bulky, they're a chubby fish. They're thick. So but they're not going to need tons of space. They're not like a super active swimmer. So it's going to be about waste management. So, I think it's more about, can you keep the water quality clean? If we're talking about like a single chubby pleco and good, then that's probably fine. Like, I might get hate for this, but I think a 10-gallon, if you could keep the water quality good, spatially is enough for one adult chubby pleco. Because again, they're not like a pelagic fish. They're not something that swims back and forth and wants to roam. They want to like graze on stuff and then go back and hide in their cave. So yeah, I mean, I don't think I would keep one in a 10-gallon just because that's a lot of biomass. I'd probably go something bigger, but I'm just trying to make the point that spatially they don't need a lot of room. Mr. WW, will the greenleaf algae eat non-hair algae also? Oh, that was a question, not a statement. I mean, they'll eat blackbeard algae, I'm sure. They're not going to eat algae that's like smooth as well. I don't think they'll eat like green spot algae or anything like that. But if it's an algae that kind of grows out, then I think they will. I'd be surprised if they didn't. But I mainly have only fed them hair algae, so I don't know for sure. I don't really get blackbeard algae here, so I can't tell you for sure. Ben, oh, it jumped. Ben was asking a question. Was it about yo-yo loaches? Is that what I saw there? Let's see. Hang on, Ben. Let me see if I can find you again. Chat like scrolled on me. There it is, Ben. Yo-yo. Oh, just saying yo-yo-yo. I thought that was a question about yo-yo loaches. Is there a way to catch planaria without catching all my shrimp with them? Not that I'm aware of. There's those little traps and things, but shrimp are likely to go in there as well. Okay, how would you do that? Yes. If you bury the trap so that the shrimp can't get to it, like bury it down in the gravel, or that might work. If your gravel's really big, the shrimp can still get down through it, but I think if you buried it under an inch or two of gravel, the planaria could get down into it, but I don't think the shrimp could. So that might be the way to deal with a trap for planaria so the shrimp don't get in it. That's what I would try. Never tried it, just spitballing here, but that's where I would go. Thanks again, Dan's Fish, for your participation in support of our monthly aquarium haul giveaway yesterday. Hey, it was a blast last night, Fish Fam. And I want to thank everyone that jumped on the train and donated a bunch of gift certificates. So that made it a very exciting night. And I think we set a record attendance, so that's pretty cool. It's really neat to watch the community like come together for something like that. So I had a blast. Thanks for having me. Did I skip Jacob Metzner, who generously gifted 5 Dan's Fish memberships. I think I might have. Thank you, Jacob. And sorry I didn't see that earlier. Unless I did and just forgot, which is totally possible because I have camera brain, as I like to call it right now. Divide by zero. Error. Hi, Dan. Thanks to you, Johnny, and the crew for the cleanup crew and the mail trout goodyids this past week. Oh, you're welcome. One question. Did I hear you say these trout goodyids were from Greg Sage's line? You did. They are. Yes, as confirmed by Greg Sage himself. I knew that about Theater Career, which is why I said it, says Dragon Lair. Oh, I'm just playing with you. Don't worry. I was not offended in the least. It was Audra Myers who won the $500. That's right. Congratulations, Audra. By the way, Audra, if you're watching, just to let you know where that's at, I got everything together today and I pinged Jonathan to make that card for you and gave him your information so he could. I don't know yet if he has got that to you or if he's still working on it. But it's in process. Unless you already got it, you might have got it already. But that's the last I knew about it. What is the feedback you're getting from the Lafini River Golden Congo Tetras with respect to spawning and community behavior? I don't think I've got any spawning reports from them, but they do great in the community. So yeah, like with other appropriately sized peaceful fish, they do great from what I've seen. I haven't heard anything different. Now, that being said, I haven't got a lot of feedback about them because they're hard fish to find, and I've only had 1 or 2 batches. So it's not like I sell them frequently. But yeah, I haven't heard anything bad about that. TDFG, when you tested the FFF versus the shrimps. Oh, Florida flagfish versus the shrimps for eating algae. Were you also feeding the... No, I don't think I was feeding the Florida flagfish during the test. Yeah, pretty darn sure I wouldn't have done that. I'd have to watch the video again, though, to be sure. I noticed mine only ever care about algae if they aren't fed their normal schedule. Yeah, I know what you're saying. They'd rather eat some... It's like me. Like, I'd rather have a bowl of ice cream than a salad, even though I should eat the salad. Like, more and more every day as I get older. I should eat the salad. Eat the salad, Dan. Same thing with those guys. Okay, Mikey M. Hi, Dan, plus everyone. Just unboxed 2 Tatia Perugiae. Oh, such a cool little fish. Put them in a bucket with clean tank water overnight, no feeding. Do you know if they will release any poisons, toxins from the spines overnight? I don't know. I'm not real familiar. I like that fish, but it's not one I have like an extensive experience with. So I don't know if that's something you have to worry about or not with those little guys. So those are, what are they called? Like the purple honeycomb or something? What's their common name? Let's look at this. Tatia Perugiae. Oh, it changed? Centromochilus Perugiae now. Oil catfish. What a horrible name for an awesome fish. Honeycomb catfish. That's better. That's better. Oil catfish? Ugh. Yeah, these little guys. They're amazing. What's really neat about them is they're a catfish, but the male inseminates the female, like a live bearer, but she doesn't give birth to live young. She then goes and lays the eggs, from what I understand. So, neat little dwarf catfish. I hope you do really well with them. There's someone out in Alabama that breeds them that I've been meaning to get in touch with to see if I can buy a bunch. I just keep forgetting to do it. Yeah, Mikey, I don't have a ton of experience with that, though. How big do the greenleaf algae eating shrimp get, and are they escape artists like Amanos? Yes. They are definitely like Amanos in personality and escapism and hardiness and diet and all that stuff. What? Well, I hope the stream's still going. YouTube just crashed on me. Here's what I'm seeing, if you can see this. That just happened. Jeez. Okay, let's try to reload this. Let's see if we can get back. Not enough memory. I've got tons of memory in this new computer. Tons. Okay. Did I go black on you guys, or was that just on my side? Yeah, I got to pop out chat again. Looks like it's still going, so that was probably just something I saw on my side. New computer, new problems. It's always how it is. It takes a little while to work out the bugs. You know, do the shakedown voyage. Okay, we can see you and hear you on our side. Okay, cool. Yeah, good. Good to know. All right, I'm back on my side, so technology, man. All right. Where was we's? Let's see, I was definitely in live chat, not top chat, and oh man. So the next comment I can see is cool videos from a cool guy here. Do you sex them? I don't know what he's, I don't, are you asking about the honeycomb catfish? I'm not sure what you're asking about. So I can't really answer that. But anyway, my point is, if you left a comment or a question above that I didn't get to, I'm not gonna be able to get to it now because YouTube crashed and I had to restart it. So feel free to post it again. Normally I don't want people posting their question or comment like a bunch and spamming the chat. It doesn't help, and I just get to stuff as I get to it. But in this case, if you left a comment or a question up above this, it's gone. It left when YouTube crashed. So feel free to repost it, please, and I'll get to it. Sorry about that, but I don't know. I don't control everything. I try, but I definitely don't control YouTube or, you know, the internet once it gets past my router. Have you heard reports on the high fin sunrise platies? My males aren't all similar to the breeder males. Some are 3 times the size with less red. Whoa. Does anyone else know? Has anyone else here been breeding the high fin sunrise platies that we carry? And if so, what's been your experience on the offspring? I assume, Carrie, that you're asking about the offspring, that some of the males are massive and have less red. I mean, that sounds really pretty. Is that worth working into its own strain? Is it just like less red? So it's mostly yellow fish, I guess. I don't know. Let's hear what the crowd has to say. I haven't heard anything like that. At least not that I remember. Okay. Zen cord cats. I'm not usually crazy about glassfish. Oh, but those new ones you have in are pretty nice looking. Oh, they're so cool. So, what is it? Is it called Parachanga? What is the genus of that catfish? Glass fish. Parachunga. I wanna get this so that I can show you guys a picture of this, but I have to find the scientific name. Chunga? No. Glassfish genus? Chanda. That's right. Chanda, not chunga. And this one is Parachanda. Vere? Parchandavere? No, that's someone's name. Oh, I can't remember the scientific name. But yeah, they're a true freshwater glassfish. Sorry about that. That's some bad television where you're just watching me type and fail. Oh, hang on. I might have it right here. Yes, Gymnochanda, not Parachanda. Okay, Gymnochanda. Here we go. This will be worth it. They're awesome. There it is, Gymnochanda vere. This fish. Look at this. So they are neat. They have bright red tips on the fins, and they get these big extensions on the fins. See these big feathery extensions? And just a really neat looking glassfish. And the thing I love about them, oh, there's a whole thing in Amazonas magazine about Gymnochanda. Who knew? All right, well, I'll be reading that article. So check out Amazonas magazine if you're into glassfish. What I like about them is they stay small. They're about an inch. That's full grown from what I've read, about an inch. And they're a true freshwater glassfish. They actually come from soft acidic like black water. These guys don't need salt. They're not like the typical glassfish in the hobby where it's like, ooh, did this come from salt water or fresh water? Do I have to keep them brackish? All that. These come from fresh water, soft acidic fresh water. And in our experience, they're doing great in aquariums. So my first time ever having these, my first time ever seeing these, and so far I like them. I like them a lot. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about those too. The true freshwater red fin glassfish, or Gymnochanda vere. Yeah, they got me going too, Zen Cory Cats. Cool videos from a cool guy. Sorry, I meant to say, do you sell, sell honeycomb catfish, not do you sex them. I don't have any right now, and I haven't had any in a while. I would like to though. If someone here breeds those and has some available, I'd like to buy them from you. If that's the case, send an email to us, let me know. hello@dansfish.com, HELLO@dansfish.com, and I'd be happy to purchase some. I need to get back in touch with the young gentleman from Alabama, see if I can source some from him. Really like them. Just, I don't like bringing in the wild ones because I've tried a couple times and not had great success. I haven't found a supplier yet that can get them to me in good enough shape, really, is what it comes down to. But yeah, I'd like to buy some. In fact, anyone here, if you're a hobbyist and you breed and raise fish and you have kind of quantity available, we love buying fish from hobbyists. Reach out, hello@dansfish.com. That's HELLO@dansfish.com, and we'd like to buy them from you. I think in the past couple of weeks, we've got 4 or 5, maybe 6 orders from hobbyists that we brought in. So we really like doing it. That's our preferred way to source fish. Do you know of a good place to get blue freshwater angelfish? I'm making a blue tank, but can't find any. Well, if you go to our website, you'll see some blue diamond angelfish that might scratch that itch. Let's see if we have any available. Yeah, these guys. So these are, I don't know if they're Filipino blue or where their blue gene came from exactly, but these are the diamond scaled in blue. And that's what I've got. I don't know of any freshwater angelfish that's bluer than that. Maybe a blue avatar if you can find them. I haven't been able to find that fish in a long time. Yeah, I think the blue diamonds are about as blue as it gets. Does someone here know of a bluer strain of angelfish? If so, could you put it in the chat so Brandlin, can start searching. Any dwarf emerald rasibors coming in? Yes, Donald. We have some in quarantine. As long as they do well, they should be listed soon. Excuse me. If they weren't listed today, yeah, none in stock at the moment, but yes, I think we'll have some available soon. Now, I never know for sure. Quarantine here takes as long as it takes. Usually within 2 weeks, the vast majority of the fish we bring in are ready to go. They're healthy, they've recovered, they're great. But there are some cases where a fish has something a little off and we have to figure it out. And in the worst case, that has taken us months in the past. But that's not usual. That's very rare. So I think within a couple weeks, they should be ready. KCM. Sorry if already read. You said, report any chance we got A Gabuins instead of red striped killie pair. Send the photos to Johnny, but think he hasn't seen them yet. Johnny and I looked at those this afternoon, and those definitely look like striatum to me, and I'll show you why. Striatum. Okay. And Aphysian gabuens. Gabuens. Let's see. Let's make sure I got that right. Okay. So here is gabuens. Let's see if we can find a bigger picture. And if you look, you'll see that they do have red spots. They're not quite as linear, but the main thing is if you look at the tail, you'll see, there we go. If you look at the tail in these gabuens, you'll see that you have red on tail, right? It's red and then tail. If you look at striatum, sorry, wrong one, there it is. You have the yellow break here. So you've got yellow, red, yellow, and you kind of got these separations. So see how you have red and then yellow and then a red stripe and then the tail? Whereas in gabuens, you don't have that differentiation. So the pictures we looked at, we saw the red and the yellow, and oops, looking at the wrong one. There it is. Red, yellow, red. That's why I'm pretty darn confident that what you have is a striatum. So yeah, Johnny and I looked at those pictures earlier today. I think he's just not had a chance to respond or wanted to double check with someone else before he responded. But from the pictures I saw, you definitely have striatum. Ben, do you have any cheat codes to get Notho rubropinnis to lay more eggs each day? Yes. So if you separate them for a little bit and feed heavily, that female will get really full of eggs. It doesn't take more than, I don't know, 3-4 days with Nothos. So feed her really heavily. Live and frozen foods will get you the best egg production, and then put them together. So with Nothos, more food. Like if you can feed 5 times a day, do it. Like feed them and then come back a few hours later, feed them again. Like keep them really well fed. They reproduce so rapidly and grow so rapidly. Their metabolism is so high that they need a lot of energy in order to produce eggs. Now, the other thing I would do is I'd put them in a bare aquarium with a little bowl of peat moss, so they have a targeted place to lay their eggs. Otherwise, if you have peat moss across the entire aquarium bottom, they're going to spawn here and there and thither and yon, and you won't have like a concentrated area of eggs, which is easy to harvest and deal with. So bare aquarium, I would paint it so that it isn't an infinite bottom for them. And if there's a little algae growth on the top of that bottom glass, that's good too. Then there's less light reflecting off, which is nice. And then a little kind of a deep bowl with the peat moss in it. That's maybe a sponge filter on one side. That's how I set up my breeders of Nothos. So I would do that and feed tons of food. Also, to get more eggs each day, you can increase the temperature. I don't know what temperature you're keeping them at, but if you increase it to the high 70s, maybe even the lower 80s, then you'll get more quicker egg production. Now the fish won't live as long because its metabolism will be higher, but you'll definitely get more production each day. And in the wild, by the way, Nothos come from savannas and kind of deserty areas, in some cases grasslands, and sometimes pretty dry grasslands. And they're exposed to the sun, right? These are not rainforest areas that are sheltered and shaded and cool. These are shallow ponds out in the savanna. And when their natural habitats temperatures are taken, usually they're pretty warm. a lot warmer than we tend to keep our killifish. When we keep killifish in aquariums, we're usually optimizing for lifespan. So we keep them cooler so they last longer. But if you're optimizing for production, raise the temperature. And I hope you're enjoying them. I think those rubropinnis are just about the coolest fish we have. They're absolutely wonderful. What's the red concrete-like algae bacteria that's growing on the glass surfaces and some of my rocks? Scrape, and how do I get rid of it short of using napalm? So Whips World, I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what the name is, the official name. But I've struggled with that as well. And I think what I ended up doing was just using like a green scrubby pad and scrubbing it down, and it took real elbow grease. Now I had a glass aquarium, not acrylic, so I wasn't so worried about scratching it. If you have acrylic, I don't know what to do. I'm trying to think if I ever found a critter that would eat it. I don't think I did. I wonder if Nerite snails might be able to eat something like that, but I know that stuff you're talking about. And I don't have a good idea, Whips World, of how to get it off besides just scrubbing. And I know it's super difficult to get off. You almost want to use steel wool, but it's like, nah, that's probably gonna scrape up the glass pretty good. All right, looking here. Looks like in general, the stream's been pretty healthy the whole time, so that's encouraging. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's just check stream health real quick. Doing all right. Doing all right. Did you do the giveaway yet? Nope. Negative. Carrie, the males are really large like the females. A lot of yellow with a gonopodium and less high fin. Only a couple months old, so I'll keep the line and get another pair from you to cross. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, I'm not real surprised. It's rare for a line of fancy live bears to, have all the babies be true. But on those, that's when we have had babies of before. And the babies turned out pretty much like the parents, at least the vast majority of them. So no, I haven't quite experienced what you're describing there. But the genes in the fancy domesticated live bears, they've been bred so long in so many different variations that they carry the genes they carry are complex for sure. And numerous. Atomic Warriors 94. Do you plan on doing a review of the new Magic Nano feed? I do. I love it. We have some video of our bamboo shrimp going nuts for it. It's on an employee's cell phone. And the other day, we were talking about me getting it from their cell phone so I could share it out. But something came up and we haven't got to it yet. But yeah, I really like the Magic Nano feed. I liked it. I mean, I visited Corey before it was released, and he fed his fish with it and showed me how it worked and stuff, and I was like, that's going to be awesome. Like, I could just, the way it's kind of neutrally buoyant in the water column and stays in the water for so long, I was like, oh, that's going to be awesome. And what I found is, like, our chili raspberries eat it like it's baby brine shrimp. They just go nuts for it. And that's awesome. Makes it a lot easier to put weight on newly imported chili raspberries instead of having to do only baby brine shrimp with like a large monster pellet or something, because it takes them a while to learn to go down and congregate on the monster pellet. It's not something that they do always on day one. Sometimes it takes a little while for them to learn, oh, that's food and I can eat it. But this stuff, they seem naturally tuned into it. Whatever cues them naturally to want to eat something, it's triggering that, and they're eating it. So yeah, we feed it to lots of the fish here. The nano fish, it's amazing for. The shrimp, especially the filter feeding shrimp, it's been amazing for. I like it. I like it. Mr. WW, do you have any video on acclimating fish? Just float to match temp and scoop into tank. Try to avoid getting bag water in tank. Yeah, float to match temperature. Or if the temperature is already matched, don't float it and get them out, put them in the tank. That's what I would say. Avoid getting bag water in the tank. Yeah, I think that's a good practice as well. So I think that's all good. The one thing I would say is it might be nice to turn your light off for the first day or so while they're just added to the tank, so they feel a little more secure, don't have the sun shining down on them, don't feel so exposed. Have you ever kept funnelless chrysotis? Yes, I love it. I think they call it the golden top minnow in common parlance, is that right? And my favorite chrysotis is the one that's melanistic. Let me show you guys this, if I can find it. Funnelless chrysotis. Yeah, they call it the golden top minnow. Look at this. So, let's find one that's really showing the red. Here you go. See these bright red spots and bright red fins? That's a pretty fish. It's just such a neat fish. And then here's the one that has the melanistic spots on it that I really like. I like this black contrast on that fish. So let's see here, melanistic. Yeah, here you go. So look at that neat contrast on there. I think that's super cool. Look at that one, it's even blotchier. Yeah, so one of my favorite native aquarium fishes for sure. All right, scrolling here for the next one, who is Khaki Nurse. Hello, fellow Dan. Are we supposed to re-enter the giveaway? Oh, I don't think so. Let's look. No, don't re-enter the giveaway. It was only YouTube that went down. It was not, oh, I think. Ooh, well, this doesn't look promising on Nightbot. Let me refresh and see what happens. Yeah. Yes, please re-enter the giveaway. Sorry about that. Hashtag Wild Molly to enter the giveaway. Hashtag WILDMOLLY. No spaces, caps don't matter. I'm glad you asked, Dan the Khaki Nurse, because I would not have thought of that. But yep, looks like there's only one entry right now. So please do re-enter if you'd like to win a pair of Liberty Mollies. Poecilia salvatoris, because they're from El Salvador, hence the name. The Catfish Den. Will you be getting any Pseudomobile pellucidus, reticulatus, or paluticola in soon? I already bred every other species in the U.S. Thanks. I hope so, especially reticulatus. I think I've only been able to get that once, and I would love to get more. I like paluticola as well. Yeah, those are all species that I'd like to bring in again. They're produced in such low numbers, they're difficult to, I mean, I know someone that brings them in. They breed the reticulatus, and I believe he breeds the paluticola as well. The pellucidus is wild caught, I think. I'd have to double check if he's breeding those or collecting those. But they're not available very often. So yeah, I try though. I really like those, especially reticulatus. We have ornate tenopoma anytime in the near future. Andy, the truth is I probably won't. I do know one person that breeds them, and I can occasionally get them from them. I've only been able to do that, I think, twice though. The main place to get them is exported out of the Congo, and as of yet, I'm not planning on trying another export out of the Congo until probably until springtime. Now that might change, but that's my thought right now. Apparently, I have a ton of detritus worms, says Whips World. While the napalm will work for them too, I'd rather try something else first. If I dump copper in the tank, will that kill them? I assume it would. Fish generally will eat detritus worms. If you have a little, oh, I didn't switch the screen. You guys seeing the screen? I think that's an option. Copper is rough. Like, I use copper as a last resort. When we have velvet and I'm forced to use copper, I hold my breath and cross my fingers. Like, it's not good stuff. It's hard on the fish. I'm trying to think if that was my tank, what would I do? And I don't know for sure, but what I probably do is feed a lot less and have little nanofish in there. Maybe that won't work. Maybe you have big fish in there that won't eat the detritus worms. But if you have little nanofish, Dario are the punisher when it comes to detritus worms. That's like a natural thing for them to go hunt out little worms like that. So little Dario species, or the black tiger Dario, pajamas, they call it sometimes. I don't know why. What else would be sparkling gouramis, pygmy gouramis, toothpick fish. Those little micro predators, I think that they would wipe out detritus worms pretty well. So if you cut feed a bit so the detritus worms stop populating so much and have these little predators in there, I think you're going to end up with a ton of really happy little nano predators that are nice and fat and sassy. But yes, copper will work, I'm sure. But, oof. Zen Cory Cats, will you be getting more forktail blue eyes anytime soon? Did we sell out? We had more just, I mean, I checked literally just the other day. But yes, I'll be getting more. Forktail, does it have a space? Is that why I can't find it? I'm just going to do fork. There we go. Oh, we're out again. Wow, we must have sold those quickly. Yeah, that's when I try to keep in stock all the time. So I believe, I knew we were getting low, but I didn't think we were going to sell out so quick. I believe I've got more, I'm expecting more next week. So in 2.5 to 3 weeks, if all goes well, if they arrive and if we can get them healthy in 2 weeks, then yes. Fish Hunter, will Liberty mollies breed with regular aquarium strain mollies? I assume so. I mean, if you can get a molly and a guppy to breed, then I would think you could get a Liberty molly and a, aquarium strain molly, whichever species you have, to breed. That'd be my guess. Never tried it, don't know, but I think so. Brett Baker, what are your thoughts on keeping shrimp in a quarantine hospital tank as a way to not have any empty tanks taking up spaces? I think that's a great idea. Snails and shrimp and other things is a way to keep a bioload in there. However, we have done experiments and we do find worms in snails. And this week we worked up some shrimp and we found flukes in the shrimp. So it does not appear that shrimp are immune from the diseases fish get. So just be aware of that, that if you have fish in there that have flukes and you have shrimp in there and you move the fish out, the shrimp could become a vector for that for the next group of fish that goes into that tank. They could become a reservoir where the flukes can live until the next fish comes in. Same with snails on some types of worms and such. So we were surprised. We did not think we would find flukes in shrimp, but we did. I think something that might be safer, Brett, would be a colony of like blackworms. I don't know for sure. We haven't done that and haven't worked up blackworms and checked for parasites and stuff that are common to fish. But I think something like that could work. Christina, how many of the red-tailed, true red-tailed glassfish should be together? So they like being in groups. The more the merrier. Would 4 be okay? I think they'd probably do better in a bigger group. Are they okay with strawberry rasboras? They might eat Boraris. They do have a large mouth. Pencilfish and neon tetras, probably. Neocaridina, yeah, probably. They probably eat some Neocaridina, but I bet the adults would be fine. Now, I haven't tried it. This is my first time ever having them. They're in a tank by themselves. I've never kept them with another species. I do know, though, that they like to be in large groups. So typically when that's the case, 4 would be, I mean, they might be just fine. I haven't tried it, but I think 4 would be on the low end. when it comes to fish that likes congenitors around it. I'm in the giveaway, says cool videos from a cool guy. All right, well, cool. Okay, Fishcapades. Hey, that's a great name. Are members still more likely to win giveaways? Just curious. No, I had to cut that down because I didn't realize this, but someone brought to my attention that when you're doing a giveaway, it can be seen as a game of chance. Game of chance chances are regulated, and if I favor the moderators, it might be seen as being rigged. So there's all kinds of laws and regulations around gambling, basically, and I just didn't want to fall foul of anything like that. So better safe than sorry. So I have not done that for a little while. I talked about it when we made the change, but I haven't talked about it since. Yeah, I just don't want to get in trouble. I would like to do it. I would like to give the members a perk there, or like members or longtime subscribers, things like that, some kind of perk. But I don't want to get involved with that. And the laws vary state to state and all this stuff. And if you live in another state and you win, it gets messy real quick. Dixon, what brine shrimp have you used that hatch out the smallest? Trying to get smaller fry on brine shrimp quicker. So Dixon, I do know there's a couple species of brine shrimp that are much smaller than the normal San Francisco or Salt Lake brand. The San Francisco is smaller than the Salt Lake, but there's some out there that are even smaller than the San Francisco. And I don't remember beyond the fact that San Francisco Bay brine shrimp are smaller than Salt Lake. The other species that are they from Argentina or something? I can't remember, but I don't remember beyond that. But you will probably have access to Bay Area brine shrimp, and if that's the case, that's the one I would use. That would be the easy one to start with. It's a 210 with large South and Central American fish. Shoot, the detritus worms? Nanofish will live long enough to help me. Yeah, you're darn right, Whips World. I'm already down to feeding 4 times a week. Can I cut back feedings more without starvation? Okay, I don't know. So I didn't realize these were large fish. Like, just the amount of large fish eat a lot and produce a lot of waste, and that produces a lot of algae and biofilm and stuff, and the detritus worms are going to feed on that. So, yeah, in my mind, I was picturing like a little, little small fish tank. Oh, what could eat detritus worms and that would hold their own? I don't know, Whip. I'm sorry, I don't know. There might be some less there might be some medicines that are less harsh that could be used. Let's see here. Are detritus worms roundworms or are they flatworms? I think, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know which they are. I'm assuming they're a roundworm, an annelid type worm, but I'm not sure. But anyway, there are some medicines that are pretty effective against worms and might be effective against roundworms as well. I'm not a doctor, not a veterinarian or any of that, but we have good luck treating roundworms with levamisole. We treated it at a low dose. We found the higher doses of levamisole are very, very rough on our fish. So I treat with a low dose levamisole. And with flatworms, we have pretty good luck with a praziquantel and metronidazole mix, basically like a general cure type product. Those can work. Barring those, flubendazole might be something you could try, but both those medications are, I would think, much less dangerous than copper. In my experience, I'd be more comfortable using them than using copper. Christina, why? With the fish infected by flukes, did you notice something wrong with the shrimp? Oh, the shrimp were infected by the flukes. Or were they checked out as a curiosity? I think they were checked just because they were a new import, so we were doing our standard health checks. But I could be wrong. I would have to ask our fish health officer, technician, guy. How's that for an official term? Our fish health dude. Why he worked them up. Am I in the giveaway or no? I don't know. Yeah, here's the giveaway. Let's see here. It's cool videos from a cool guy in here. Let's see. Yes, you are in there. Cool videos from a cool guy. There you go. Elser, I am looking to breed my chili raspberries. Oh, that's exciting. I have 19. Should I put them in all in a breeding tank or just a pair of trio? Can't find any info on their breeding success raising fry at all. The people that I know that have bred them did them in groups. So I think I would first try a group. These are continuous spawners. So these are not a fish where you can put a pair in and get a whole bunch of eggs. The females are going to lay a few eggs a day. So I would do a group, and then if you have several females, you're likely to get a decent yield. And I think it would be important to use some kind of egg trap to make sure that the eggs aren't eaten and to collect them into one place where you can easily manage them. That's what I'd recommend. The tour I do of Geek Boy's setup, if you look on the video channel, we have a fish tour I do of his setup. And one of the tanks he has is breeding CPDs, and he's got this kind of automated egg collection system. And CPDs are similar. They're also a continuous spawner, like the chili rasboras. And I think that kind of system is the way to go. So check out that video. You can see a description of his breeding trap, and I think that's the kind of thing I would use for chili rasboras. And good luck. I hope you succeed. I think that would be a really cool breeding project for sure. Zen Cory Cats, how generous! Gifted 5 Dancefish memberships. Thank you so much, Zen Cory Cats. I really, really appreciate the support. It's an awesome way to support us. The more members we get, the better. The better, the better. Do you have any videos about starting brine shrimp for feeding? Jeannie, I don't think I've ever done a video on hatching brine shrimp. Well, I've probably done it included in like a day in the life video or something like that, but I don't know where it would be. So, no, that's something maybe I will do, but I haven't done it yet. If I get kicked off the stream, do I need to re-enter, says Carrie. I don't think so. I don't think that well, let's see. Carrie Britton, did you get kicked off the stream and are you still here? Let's see. Do we see Carrie? There you are, Carrie. You're there. Yeah. All right, that's the last one, guys. I'm not going to go name by name, seeing if you're entered. That would get tedious. Dan Duffy. I've read conflicting information about temperature impacting male to female ratios in livebearer fry. Is that true? Is it warmer or colder for more males? Dan, I don't remember. I know that's true for some rainbow fish. I know that's true for some other groups of fish as well. And I can't remember. Livebearers is a big group of fish, so that's the first thing. There might be some livebearers that it affects differently than others. And I don't remember the details. I know it can be a thing with fish, though, but I don't remember specifically if any livebearers are affected that way, and if they are, in which way. But that's got to be Googleable. If that research has been done, that's got to be out there. Oh, man, I'm still sharing the screen. I'm so bad at my job, showing you guys the wrong screen. I figure Siamese algae eater or similar would work. Maybe are we talking about for that like concrete red algae? Oh, I don't know. Especially if it's on the surface of the glass. So Siamese algae eaters are really good about eating algae that's on like little crevices and stuff. If you have plants, they'll get in all the little nooks and crannies. If you have rocks, they'll get in the little nooks and crannies and do it. But like a clear sheet of glass, they don't clean that off as like they'll nip at it and you'll see little marks on it, but they don't do a great job cleaning sheets of glass, especially of like a super hard red algae. So I don't know if they would or not. Won't big Corys eat those worms? Maybe, but it sounds like, I don't know if Corys are going to be able to hang with what Whip's got going on. Did Whip, let's see here, I don't know. I'm scrolling up to see if I can find that comment again. Large South and Central American fish. Yeah, I don't know which species, but in my mind, I'm seeing stuff that would eat Corys without any problem. But I could be wrong. I've never seen the tank. But yeah, if Corys can safely be in there, that is an option. Any Vietnamese white clouds coming in soon? Let's see. That's one that I have not had. I think we call it the Royal. We are out of that one. Yeah, that's one that I can bring in. I can find it frequently enough. I don't know if it'll be like in a week or a month, but that's one I can bring in again. Mike Casey, help! Ah! I'm out of tank space and have more breeding projects I want to work on. Will you call my wife and ask her if I can have more tanks? Yes, but I need a bargaining chip. I mean, I'm not going to really call your wife, but you need a bargaining chip. What does your wife want? She wants X. Honey, I think that we can do X. Let's do that. And when we're done X, here's my Y. Here's what I want in return. So I know you want this. Let's do that. If we do that, would you allow me to do this? Like, give it a whirl. Give it a whirl. Relationship advice from a fishmonger. I don't know if I'd take it, but it's given freely. Cool videos from a cool guy. I'm sorry, just wondering. I enjoy looking for cool libraries to read. No worries, cool videos. I get it. It's a cool fish. In fact, speaking of cool fish, let's do a giveaway, shall we? There are 198 entries here for these Liberty Mollies, and the winner is Gold Nugget Pleco Tetra. Gold Nugget Pleco Tetra, you have a minute to chime in and let us know you're here. When this timer reaches a minute, we will choose a different winner if you have not chimed into chat and said something. That's how we roll here. There's 419 folks here. Cheers. That's not bad. That's a good group for this little channel. That is a good group. We've been above 500 before, but you know, we've had technical difficulties the last few weeks, and so it's going to take a little while to rebuild the audience, because there's probably a lot of people that are like, yeah, I'm going to wait till he fixes that before I watch that again. And it'll just, you know, you lose some people when you have issues like that. Drinking is hard. Did you see that? I tried to drink, and instead I watered myself. I've got, look at all that. Look at that mess. In my defense, it's a very wide mouth on this water bottle. And the way it's like, the way it goes here and then down, like it catches here and then it like comes all at once at a certain point. So who am I kidding? I just never learned to drink water, I guess. You should see me try to put on my socks. Whew, it's a nightmare. Okay, quantum entanglement. Do you think that fish will become more expensive in the future with the new president and all? They will definitely become more expensive in the future. I don't know if how much the tariffs are going to affect fish. I don't know. I mean, but if there's a tariff put on fish, then yeah, that'll drive up the price for sure. But what it might do is, by the way, I'm not talking, I stay out of politics and religion on this stream. This is a stream about fish. So don't take what I'm about to say as a political leaning or anything. I'm just spitballing here and thinking, yeah, that might raise the price of fish, but it might also make people in the United States breed more fish. And so in the short term, for sure, it'd raise prices. But in the long term, maybe we'll have more locally produced fish. Maybe fish farms will become more profitable. And instead of selling off as they retire, here's what's happening in Florida. The fish farms the land is becoming so valuable that it's hard for the fish farmer to be like, I should keep farming fish. Why? I can just sell the plot of land and be set for life and take care of my kids and my grandkids, right? So, I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but that's the conundrum that fish farmers in Florida are running into. I would make a lot more if I just sold this plot of land. Of course, then there wouldn't be a farm here anymore, but man, I could just go drink a Mai Tai on the beach or something, right? So as competition from other areas of the world has grown over the last several decades, Florida is no longer producing most of the fish sold in the United States and hasn't been for quite a while. Most of the stuff is brought in from overseas. In fact, a lot of the stuff that's sold by the Florida fish farms, they're importing and reselling. So it would, a byproduct of tariffs might be that fish prices increase and maybe those fish farmers don't sell. Maybe it's now profitable to stay in business. I don't know. I'm not like saying anything for or against. I'm not making a political statement. I'm just thinking, well, if the tariffs go through, fish prices increase, maybe farmers make more money. That's all I'm thinking. But yeah, prices are going to go up, whether there's tariffs or not. Just with how the world works is the money becomes less valuable over time. That's just inflation happens, and for sure they're going to be more expensive. Elser, yes, I have an egg trap collector I use for CPDs. Thanks. I will try it on the chili raspberries. All right, cool. Well, geez, I bet that. Okay, there you go. Gold Nugget Pleco Tetra has won. They've chimed in. They've won. They responded in 25 seconds. Or it's been 25 seconds. Anyway, they're there. So congratulations. Would you send us an email with your first and last name and your mailing address to hello@dansfish.com. That's HELLO@dansfish.com. And we will send you a pair of Liberty Mollies. And congrats. Thanks for playing. Okay, it's time to say goodnight. But first, I want to thank our moderators for being here and moderating. I so appreciate you guys. Thanks for volunteering your time and making sure the chat runs smoothly. Especially the OGs who've been here forever, just helping this thing grow. I really appreciate it. Everyone that's a member of the channel, thanks for being a member. If you gave away a membership, thanks for gifting those. If you threw money at us, thanks for the super chat. Always appreciated. Never required, but every penny helps. It truly does. And let's see, where do I go from here? Oh yes, if you were active in the chat, thanks for participating. Thanks for answering people's questions and making it a fun, lively community. If you weren't active in the chat, I still love you. Hail the Lurker Nation. If you're watching the replay, hello from the past. And if you're listening to the podcast, thanks so much for listening. That's it for tonight. I won't be back next week. I'm spending Thanksgiving time with family, so next Wednesday I'll be doing that. But the following week I should be here. Until then, I hope you have a good one. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Bye-bye.